Karibu tena mpenzi mtazamaji, kama nilivyokueleza hapo awali kwamba tuna wageni Richard Bennett ambaye ni mwanzilishi wa Bubesi na Chris Manning ambaye ni meneja mkuu kule G4S. Chris and Rich, welcome to the studio. Welcome to Zilizala Viwanjani. For the first time in a very long time, you guys have forced me to change my route, to bend the rules a little bit because my show is normally in Swahili. So I have to do it in English for the sake of our guest today, Mkangai.
Yeah.
Do you have your dictionary?
Yeah, niko nayo.
So, Rich?
Yes, hello.
Bubesi, tell us a bit about Bubesi.
Okay,
What do you do and why are you in Kenya?
Yeah, of course. Firstly, thanks Hassan for having us on your show. Very animated, I love it. Bubesi Pride Foundation is a UK registered charity. We select volunteers from all over the world who want to share their passion for this game, rugby in Africa. And some volunteers join us for a period of a few weeks, and some join us on the whole 5-month expedition, which this year in 2016 alongside G4S is starting in Kenya, and then we'll go through into Uganda, Tanzania, Mozambique, Malawi, Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, South Africa. And we essentially use rugby as a tool to engage kids, get them playing healthy, active sport. G4S get very involved with their employees to talk through life skills, health education. We make sure that the kids get refreshments throughout the coaching week. And then we've become together, G4S and Bubesi Pride Foundation, very much well known for our big tournament days that we host at the end of the week.
How is the partnership with G4S, Rich?
Yeah, so our partnership, our partnership is with G4S Africa, which is headquartered in South Africa. But the way that it works is we partner very, very closely with the independent business units across 9 African countries. Okay. So the countries I mentioned, this year, as Chris will tell you, we start in Kenya, which is, it's kind of the starting point is always exciting because all the guys are getting really prepared for the big 5-month project. And, it came to be because G4S are active throughout Africa. They're the largest private employer in Africa. So we as a charity will engage with over 300 G4S employees over a 5-month period. And Chris's colleagues throughout Africa will, as I said just now, be learning to become rugby coaches alongside local staff in schools. They'll be handing out refreshments, they'll be teaching life skills, sharing the values of rugby, values of the business of G4S. And it works extremely well because we collaborate. It's all about collaboration.
Chris, is it a one-off thing or it's an annual event?
No,
it's this partnership to thrive.
Yeah, it really does thrive, and I'm particularly proud that G4S Kenya is the first country this year. Actually, last year I was managing G4S Uganda, and last year it was the first, so maybe it's going to follow me around. But no, this is a really special event. It's the key corporate social responsibility event for G4S, certainly in Africa. And we're across 26 countries in Africa. We've got over 100,000 employees in Africa, and we are joined at the hip with Bubesi Pride, and really I can say with absolute confidence that Bubesi Pride is our primary event. And why is that? Well, we believe it aligns with our own company values of collaboration and cooperation, team spirit, and just working together to inspire people, to inspire kids above all, and to help them to go get confidence through handling a ball and getting this kind of sense of team spirit. So G4S loves it. In answer to your question, I think this group will grow every year from now on. And it's been going since about 2012, but every year it gets bigger and better, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You said you were in Uganda, right?
Yeah.
Kenya is big in rugby, especially the sevens team.
Yeah.
What do you make of the sevens team, and is it something that you're proud of? And I'm sure, Rich, before you get the Hayange and
Oscar
Hayange,
Uma,
the Humphrey Hayange, Ouma of this.
Collins Injera, Felix Hayange.
Exactly. You need to nurture those talented players
Of
in the
course.
grassroots.
Of course.
I mean, how's the idea receptive to these guys? Has it been received well by the
Yeah,
youthful rugby players?
100%. Yeah. You know, our project centers around the passion that our coaches bring to sharing rugby in the community. And obviously, we can get kids involved. They absolutely love playing rugby. It's amazing. I always find it so remarkable over the course of a week. We're working in 4 Mathare schools this week in Nairobi. And a lot of these kids have never played rugby before. Some of them have. But of course, over the course of a week, their skill base just improves so quickly. These young athletes sort of running around defenders, scoring loads of tries. We'll see it a lot tomorrow. We invite lots of Kenyans to come along and support us at KCA University. But it does start at grassroots level. It's the kids and their talent which shines through, but also local staff, teachers, G4S employees, all the stakeholders that get involved. We connect also with the Shamas Rugby Foundation as well. And all of these guys are so passionate about the game, and they are all role models. So these kids will look at these coaches and think, yeah, one day I might get an opportunity to play for the national country, maybe for a club. But as I was saying to Chris earlier, you know, it's just about having a sport like rugby creating other opportunities as well.
Is there goodwill from, say, the stakeholders, the rugby union, the federation?
Of course, yeah, for sure. So we've been linking up with the union ever since, 2011. I had my first meetings with the union, and there's been some key people that have been very supportive of the program. We're always open to collaboration, because at the end of the day, if we work together, you're always going to achieve more. And as Chris has said, we're growing all the time, and we invite a lot more link-ups with different people, organisations, more schools, and yeah, try and grow it. We've got some good connections to players within the men's national team. We had some of the lady national team players coming out this week to coach in the schools. And for youngsters, particularly young girls, it's hugely aspirational for them to be coached by those girls.
Chris, this is sometimes I look at it and it might, from where I sit, it might be a logistical nightmare, because I deal with hundreds of children. Take me through how is it, bringing all these kids together and making sure they enjoy the sport.
Well, we act as a kind of as a conduit for the Bubezi Pride team. I mean, actually, these guys are the ones who do all the hard work, really. But we do have a project manager who's dedicated to ensuring that the logistics are managed, that the refreshments arrive on time, that the tentage is there, and that the meals are there on time. And we act as I say, a conduit or a facilitator for Richard and his team of volunteers. And I'd just like to pay tribute to them, actually. I mean, his volunteers, I don't think he's said it yet, but his volunteers come from 30 different countries, maybe?
So maybe 38 volunteers from 15 different countries.
That's it. 15 different countries, South America, the United States, Europe,
Chile,
Australia, all around the world. And that's what is so great about rugby. It's like soccer in a way, but on a smaller scale, but it just inspires people, and teaching kids how to play rugby, it just doesn't get better than that.
Steve Kangai?
Yeah. Okay, look at Kenya. Maybe you have mentioned of Injera, the likes of Kayange.
Yes.
Look at our facilities, sports facilities, the infrastructure. What's your take? Look at the stadiums of compare Kenya, or rather Africa, with the country where you come from. Do we have good facilities in Africa?
It's better in Kenya than it is in Uganda.
But yeah. What's your take about
Kenya? It's good. I mean, it's real Africa. I think what's great as well is that it's a good breeding ground to develop tough youngsters. Especially when it hasn't rained for a while, hitting the ground, can be quite sore sometimes. Yeah. But that's what rugby and sport is about. You sort of hit the ground, you get back up again, and you learn from those lessons. And I really enjoy coming to Kenya. I think the facilities are great. Obviously, it varies from place to place. But what's great about the setup over the course of this week is that a lot of these kids working or being taught in these schools throughout Mathare, they're all going to, 50, 60, 70 kids in each of those schools are going to jump on a bus, thanks to G4S, go to KCA University, great pitches, and they'll all come together. That unity just counts for so much. And I think if you can sort of tier the progression like that, where kids can see, okay, I'm learning At the moment, it might be tough in this dusty area where this dust is kicking up in my eyes the whole time, but the end goal will be that if I keep training hard, I might go to a nice pitch like KCA University where we are tomorrow.
Chris, Kenya is big. They love their football. You know, Gor Mahia, you know, they have the biggest, crowd pullers in the country. I don't know, other than rugby, are you planning to venture into these other disciplines? Maybe volleyball, football, sponsor one of these clubs?
Careful what you say
Gor Mahia.
Well, I wouldn't want to upset Richard on my left, but look, G4S is always looking for opportunities to give back to the community. Obviously, G4S Kenya is a very big company in Kenya. I think I'm right in saying it's the biggest private sector employer in Kenya, and we certainly, under my leadership, I'll be looking for opportunities to give back to the country in whatever way we can. But it's also fair to say, as I said earlier, that Bubezi Pride is kind of G4S Africa's big corporate social responsibility event. So, always looking for opportunities to help out in the community, but probably for the time being, our focus will be once a year on Bubezi Pride.
So
Is that a diplomatic answer?
Very good.
You've been around for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, so I actually had to drive our minibus and trailer 5,000 kilometers from Johannesburg over 10 days. One of our team was stung by a scorpion on the way, which is a little bit dramatic, but made it in the end. So we've been in Nairobi for about 2 weeks. We've had our first group of volunteers, as Chris says, from all over the world come and join us. We've been we were very fortunate to stay at a Lolo Lodge just on the edge of Nairobi National Park, and we had some great training. My colleagues Oliver Munns and Mark Cole ran some great sessions to get all of our guys skilled up, ready to coach rugby in Africa. And then we headed out to the schools. We're staying at Braeburn in Garden Estate, and we're heading out to the schools. We face a lot of challenges, and it's important you have that bounce back ability to be able to sort of deal with some of the situations that you encounter. But the guys deal with everything so well.
So I believe before you came to Kenya, or before you came to Africa, you had an objective. Do you feel you've achieved your objective? You're leaving on Sunday, I believe.
Say again, sorry.
You're leaving on Sunday?
We're leaving on Sunday, yeah.
Have
but
you attained your objective?
For sure, but Hassan, it's a continual thing, you know?
The ball.
Yeah, so it's a continual thing. You're looking good, by the way. Very natural.
Spin pass, nice.
So when we're running forward, Kimbia Mbele.
Kimbia Mbele.
Pasi Nyuma, yeah.
Pasi
Nyuma, yeah. And then I come forward here, so I Kimbia Mbele, Pasi Nyuma. Yeah. And then you're always running forward, passing backwards.
Okay. So tell us
about
Hassan. Nivo bana, umegonga ndipo. Tell us about your objective and you've attained your objective.
So it's a continual thing. We're in Kenya once a year, we're in each of these different countries once a year, but we do link up with key organizations, be that Shamas Foundation, G4S. We look to work with kids, empower local staff, and we're also trying to initiate a number of legacy projects. And Chris mentioned the idea of wanting to give as much back to the community. One of those projects might be off the back of the work that we do together during these couple of weeks in Kenya. It could be something linked to rugby, it might be another sport, it might be that we focus on looking at the needs of the community, perhaps in these 4 schools. I don't want to sort of put Chris under any pressure, obviously, but it's always that, we're always thinking about how we can be more sustainable. We're a young charity, we've only been going for 5 years, but we certainly feel that over the course of the time that we're in Kenya, we've put, the smiles on the faces are there, upskilling local staff so that they can continue the game when we're not in town, and then look at other ways. We're always open to ideas as to what more we can do.
Is it worth mentioning the big final tournaments tomorrow at KCA University, and
Absolutely,
to thank actually KCA University for allowing us to play there? It's been fantastic, and big tournament tomorrow.
Okay. So Chris, finally, what should we expect from you guys going forward? Next year, you told us that it's going to be big.
I mean, bigger and better. The more enthusiasm we can generate in this sport, which has so much in common with football, but also I think the physical challenges can also be different Richard mentioned the hard ground. When you fall on it, it's that's the same as football, but it's when you get the physical tackling. But although we only play touch rugby, of course, with the kids.
Yeah.
But it's
And safety is
I
key.
think safety is key. I think looking forward, if I'm still here in Kenya this time in a year, I'd be looking forward to expanding this